So when you're choosing your frond for your dream catcher, you need to make sure it's living. So if that's not living, did you hear the snap? That makes nice tinder actually for making your little fires. But you want to find one that's not too thick and is about 1 metre minimum long, but it could be a bit longer. And so you're looking for bend. That's what you want. You want bend because you're going to be turning it into a circle. Here is some found objects that I can definitely string up because they have holes in, and they're going to form part of my charms at the bottom of the dream catcher. I wonder what creatures lived in these shells. Spiral is seen so often in nature, isn't it? That shape. You obviously see it too in snails, but look for the spiral shape in nature. I love these hollowed out shells. They remind me also of ears, you know, the inner workings of ears somehow. The story goes in Hastings that if you leave Hastings, this is where we live, with a stone in your pocket, then you will never leave. You may leave, but you will always come back. They're also symbolic of good fortune and good luck. So I'm going to add these to our rustic dream catcher. And the circle is the circle of life. So you just gently want to twist. You don't need loads of spare hazel actually to twist around. In fact, sometimes less is easier to work with because you're going to be making a frame here for which your thread is going to be bound onto. So I've got, there we are, that'll do the trick. Finding these seagull feathers, St Leonard's seagull feathers, that we'll use to make our dream catchers and make our wishes for the future. Use plain string is absolutely good enough. Or you might want to use something fancier, like a glittery thread. To cut the string off and gather it up, and that will form the basis of our web that we'll make. Web of life, I like to think of it, the string. Okay, I'll just tidy myself up a bit here. So I've got my string ready, I've got my beads, and I've got my good luck charms and my freedom feathers. Tied a simple tie, yeah, at the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop the thread around through the loop, through the hoop, should I say, loop-de-loop, and then I'm going to tuck it through the loop that I've created with my fingers, and then tighten it. This is the hardest bit, by the way, and it's not, you know, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. You want it to be the same distance apart from the last piece, so I'm making mine about 5 centimeters apart. You might, it's quite a good distance. Remember, tuck it through the loop that you've just made, so it's, keep the thread taut as well, so it's through the hoop, make a loop, and then through the loop of the string. I'll do it again. Through the hoop, through the loop, tighten it. Once you have your hazel frame, your circle, your Japanese eternity ring, your circle of life, whatever symbolism you want to connect it to in yourself. Could be leaping through something. It could be a circle of discovery. Who knows? But right now, we're going to start making the web of life. So you take your thread and you find the middle of the first section and you just pull it round. You go to the middle of the second section and you pull the thread through like you did with the first. You then take the thread, pull it through the next section, pull it tight. You then go through the thread of the middle of the next section, pull it through, middle of the next section, pull it through. I wanted to do this activity actually, our last woodland youth project. We were going to be the last one before our schools got shut. I decided to cancel our session, which was only a few days before the schools got shut. Just didn't want to risk anyone getting ill. We were going to make dream catchers, so part of the reason I'm decided to do this video is the hope that maybe Amani or Jack or maybe one of the others, maybe Kira, might have a go at making one of these as well. But it's a lovely thing to do. You can, as I say, you could probably get, you could probably even use, if you don't have access to hazel, think of another bendy material, maybe even a coat hanger you could use. But if you do cut the hazel, remember, make a little prayer of thanks. It's almost giving back to the woods, it's giving back to the tree by thanking it. It gives the tree, well, you're honouring the tree by thanking it. Hazel, as I said, has got great sort of Celtic symbolism attached to it, linked to magic, and I love the idea that Hermes came down with his, no, it was Mercury, pardon me, came down with his wand of hazel to cast a positive spell on humanity, that they would have integrity. We need that more than ever. If you don't know what integrity is, then it's definitely worth looking up. It's a good human attribute. Can you see what we're doing? We're going to the middle of the next section. They're now triangles. So middle of that one. Now go to the next triangle and go to the middle and pull it through, pull it tight, and then we're going to go to the next triangle, pull it through. It's a form of incredibly basic weaving, and if you imagine that as you're developing your web, think that everything that has life in it is connected through its energy. Everything that has life grows and gives to something else. And we're creating the web of life here. The idea that ecology represents the web of life. Ecology means everything is interconnected. It's a comforting thought, that. So I run out of string, which means I'm going to have to tie a little knot, but I'm going to use the opportunity to tie one of my beads into here. The beads, as I say, you can write on them, but you can also, these are the elder beads. The centre, the pith that's in the middle is soft, so you need to just poke out any extra bits of pith. The little knot has gone inside the bead, and I'm just going to carry on going to the middle of the next triangle. I've added more string basically because I didn't have enough, and then that bead will probably need to come through on a few of these triangles. Next triangle, go through the middle, make it tighter. Next triangle on the circle, make it tighter. I might try and get that bead to come around as well. There we go, there's me hope. The beads just hang on the feathers too. You could just create strings of natural beads and feathers and hang them in your windows. Today I watched a seagull soar in the sky and it was catching the wind, the thermals, and I really felt it swoop high and then it landed and I could almost feel the cool water splash against its feathered belly. And I thought, gosh, that must be such a lovely feeling. It was almost like I was feeling it because I was really imagining myself as that bird as I looked up at it in the sky. Every triangle that you make in the last circle, the last round, you just literally take the new piece of thread to the next triangle. And there's another little one in there. I'm taking the thread underneath the triangle. It gets a little bit fiddlier as you get to the end of your web. Finding the triangles, you have to sort of open the triangles up and stretch them to get into them. So there's one there underneath. So there are different ways of finishing off your dream catcher. You can take the thread and take it through like one of the last loops and then knot it off from there. Your dream catcher web this is, but as you can see the love bead is a little bit in the way. Or you could even, if you want to make more divisions in your web, you could take it all the way to the top if you've got enough thread, which is what I think I'm going to do. So I'm just going to loop it through that middle one like so, and then wrap it round a few times. So I'm just going to take my feathers and attach them to the threads, and I like to think that this seagull feather has seen many miles of flight. When I look at a feather like that, it's an old battered old seagull feather like this that I found on the beach, again I get a different sort of sense of appreciation when I stop to think where things have come from. I think I might add an old shell to that bit again. I wonder what animal lived in that little creature, a little sea creature lived in there. How long did it take them to make the shell? How long has that shell been on Hastings Beach even? What else should I add? I think I've got one more seagull feather. This time of year their babies are being born, and I tell you what, they make a right old racket in Hastings, and those babies want their food. But Hastings wouldn't be the same without the sound of seagulls, that's for sure. They say you can buy feathers, or you could even make them. You could even make your own paper feathers or material fabric feathers. And then I think we're going to have, a lucky stone. Let's have a lucky stone on this one. And I might even put 2 charms on this one. Will that work? And then a shell at the bottom. So you can really have fun. You could put any little toys, even things that you've got, instead of shells and feathers. The dream catcher catches the bad dreams and allows the good dreams to float down the threads of fortune and the feathers of freedom into the mind of the sleeper. Dream on. Hope, gratitude and love to you. There's hope, gratitude and love, and on the other side it says we love the NHS staff. So the bad dreams get caught in the web, and then the good dreams and hopes cascade down the threads, and in this case into the stream.